All right, so this car has a lot of exterior lights that are not working. The tag lights, the side marker lights, and in the headlamps, I have high beam and I have directionals, but I don't have any low beam or fog lamps. So I'm gonna do some investigating, and hopefully all I'm gonna find is some burned out bulbs. To replace a bulb on the headlights, first you'll need to locate in the front trunk your toolkit. And inside you'll find all kinds of cool things like the adapter for the security lug nut. But what we really need right now is this thing here. You'll need to unscrew the plastic clip here. There we go. And you see this mushroom sort of shaped rubber stopper. Pull it out. Take your headlight tool. It's got a handle end and a working end. Insert it and turn it clockwise on this side until it pops. And I don't know if you just noticed the headlights sort of popped out there. So then take the headlight, it's on a track, and you'll slide it forward. There we go. And you'll see there's no wires, it plugs in here when you slide it in. And you have a cover here that you will remove to find your bulbs. For this, we're doing the regular low beam bulb. You have a black electrical connection. Pull it off. Then we have a clip. And what we're going to do is mash or pull this part over to one side and up, and that will release the bulb. So I'm going to take the new bulb and I'm going to put just a little bit of this dielectric grease on each connector, and this will help with corrosion. And then you'll notice it has a tab on one side. Obviously that's got to go in a little place on the fixture. There you go. Put your little spring holder back in place. Reconnect our wire. And then the cover for the fixture. 2 tabs in one side. Lock it down till it clicks. You've got a couple of pins on either side. Get them in the rails here and here. Slide it straight back. All right, so get that in pretty good. Come back here to your tool. This time we'll turn it counterclockwise. And you saw the headlight snap right back into place. Remove the tool. Put the carpet piece back under where the weather stripping, and we'll re-screw this piece here. And just give it a go. All right, it's kind of hard to tell on the video, but I think you can tell that that side is brighter. This side just has sort of a running light going. So now I'll do the driver's side. So changing out this side marker bulb is pretty easy. You just reach in, pop that, give it a little pull. Got this here. I'm going to turn it. Out we go. The old bulb is just going to go right on out. New bulb. Line it up. There we go. All right, I'm going to let it hang there for 1 second. Very good. So we'll just plug that back in. You want to line the tab with the hole and give it a little turn, lock it in place, poke the front, snap it in. That's all there is to it. So for the tag lights, there are 2 of them, and they are located on either side up under this thing. They're small black Phillips head screws holding them in. And then this just pulls down, and my tag holder is actually somewhat in the way. There's your outer plastic cover, then there's a rubber piece, and then another plastic piece. The third piece, which is the other plastic little frame, it can stay up in there. Just pull these out. Okay, now from here, you're gonna peel this plastic part up. Here we go. Yeah, so this just pushes up. On the wires, and you can actually disconnect these wires very simply. No need to do that just to change the lens out, or the lights out, bulbs. The bulbs look like fuses in here. You want to push them one side or the other and pull up on the other side. There we go. Get your good bulb, put it back in. There's a small, you can see that there's a small hole on each side. Just put the point of the bulb into one hole. And press it down the middle till it snaps in. Ease this rubber cover back on. There. Once that's down, slide it back up into the hole through the plastic frame. So now I'll just replace the 2 black self-tapping Phillips head screws. And actually, you may want to go turn on the lights and test the bulbs before you go through the trouble to screw these back in. So turn on the lights. And voila, our tag is lit up. Okay, so this is the third or central brake light in this car. I've noticed I've got several bulbs burned out. So the first thing you want to do is put your top about halfway up in order to get this clamshell cover up. So you have 2 Phillips head screws, one on either side. So unscrew those. They're gonna feel a little mushy because they honestly have a kind of a rubber jacket on them that I'm assuming swells up to hold them in place. I'm not really sure what the deal is with them, but they're very strange. Do be careful. Once again, we have a very old piece of very thin plastic here. So what you want to do then is I took my small flathead screwdrivers and I stuck one under each one of these. Unfortunately, I broke a couple of them. and there's 3 on either side. And when you pry that apart, you will see a rail style lighting with, I think, 7 little bulbs on it. So with the key in the ignition and the ignition turned to on, I'm going to depress the brake so I can see, and you can see there from left to right, it looks like number 1, 3, and 6 are burned out. Okay, so the bulbs themselves, the 3 that are not lighting, don't look burned out. So I pulled them out, I swapped them with other bulbs, they wouldn't light. I took my electronics cleaner, I cleaned everything, including undoing the plug and cleaning both sides of that, and nothing has helped, so we're gonna go ahead and replace those 3. Okay, so here's the replacement bulbs. Unfortunately, they only come in 2 packs. I only needed 3, so I'll have an extra. But if you get to Sylvania, the number is 2821. They're a 12 volt, 3 watt bulb, very small little bulb. And so all you do is grab these bulbs, pull them straight out, take your new one, push it straight back in. Don't be too hard with it, you don't want to break anything. All right, so once again with the key in the ignition turned to the on, depress the brake pedal, and all 7 bulbs are now lit. Very good. For reassembly, I'm gonna take the lens part here, and it has some writing, so you'll know which way is up, plus it curves up on the end to match the curve in the body. But on the back, you'll notice you have holes that you have to get the bulbs into. Carefully snap that back into place. I've broke so many of these that there's not a lot of snap left in it. Place that back where it goes. And then this top piece here has a hole cut out because the plug, I guess, is a little thicker than the rest of the housing. So it's gonna go in this way. The curved part will go back. And then the screws just push down. I wouldn't push on the plastic though. Put the screwdriver in and push the actual screw down. And when it is in the proper hole, then twist it as normal, clockwise to tighten. And this should be making that rubber part thicker. And it'll make it tight in the hole there. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest, this looks like it's sitting down too far, but I cannot seem to make it different. So I guess when I close everything up, we'll see if that looks right or not. Okay, so with the clamshell closed, it still looks like it's a little low through the bottom, but it's actually flush across the top. So it couldn't come up anymore or your clamshell would hit it. And my clamshell is sitting very even on either side, but yeah, looks good. And let's try those brakes one more time. Very good. So I've checked all the bulbs and all the bulbs are good. But for some reason, the driver's side headlight is really dull, really brown looking compared to the passenger side. So the only thing I really know to try is the electrical connection. There's the male part here and the female part is up inside here. And I'm gonna use some electronic cleaner, some quick dry electronic cleaner. Spray that out really good. Spray the other side. I also took all the bulbs. As I checked them, I rubbed a little dielectric grease on the prongs before I plugged them back in. So hopefully one of these two things will work. Well, that looks like it. Yeah. All right.